it's team fight in a nutshell. It was very popular. TI faded a bit as the meta developed, but it's come back because at some point, I think the average game length at this tournament is, what, 43, 44 minutes?
Quite long. Yeah.
That means there's at least 2 fights at Roche. And Silencer gives you a 5-second, 6-second window where you're probably going to be able to take that engagement.
And Centaur makes you guaranteed to be able to take that engagement.
There's
Probably
not many supports left in the pool, right?
Yeah, I would agree that I think Dazzle is something that's got to be on your mind.
Yeah, I mean, Bane is out, Phoenix is out, Ogre is out. There's like Winter Wyvern maybe, Dazzle. But Silencer is good against both of them.
I like the Magnus ban. A lot of carries that are left in the pool are only good against Terrorblade because of the Magnus. Something like the Troll, you don't really want to pick in a Terrorblade.
It's also a favorite for the PSG LGD side. I think Chalice plays a great mag, and you look at their team fight, and all of a sudden it's just, how do you contest when you know that Centaur plus this other unknown melee core is going to be able to find initiation, and then there's an RP to threaten. And to your point, it's also just a de facto counter to the TB. You've got to BKB ping disable if you're EG. You want to ensure that they have nothing that can prevent your Terrorblade from being able to sunder effectively.
I feel like LGD just picks Necro here, right? I feel like most third picks I've seen, that's like the most common pick for Necro. It's good against both of EG's heroes so far. It's like a safe pick. Usually they run the Centaur in the 4.
Yeah, it's great synergy with the Centaur as well.
Oh, they go. Oh, Enigma's still in.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize that hero was still left. Yeah. Wow. Team fight already crazy.
Yeah, they're very cooldown dependent, though. You can see if you're EG, you're probably going to look to play more of a rat style. Maybe abuse this Enigma in lane, but you're certainly not trying to win this in the mid game anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to abuse Enigma in the lane nowadays, though. Have like the Centaur Enigma lane. It's going to be incredibly hard to lane against that.
Yeah. That's like the cool thing. I just love Centaur as a hero. It gives you so much, and it's just your 4. And it's not as if you're a liability in the laning phase. You're just going to be the bodyguard for the Enigma, say what's up, and every creep wave you get a free Archer deny.
Yeah, I mean, Centaur gets like, what, 100 plus health per level? It's actually kind of ridiculous when you think about it.
I think it's 4.3 strength
Yeah,
gain,
4.3. Yeah. He starts with like, what, 700 health? And then he gets like 100 plus per level. Has a huge stun, very good attack animation, a lot of base damage.
I think you have to pick a hero to man up against the Centaur in lane. You said the Undying. I don't really see what else they pick. I don't see what else they pick, because otherwise, like...
It's either Dazzle or Undying.
Yeah, if you can't go on the Enigma in lane, though, you just always freely denies. You have to like be able to gank him or at least get on top of him.
Yeah.
Or CM. That is a bit... I mean, it definitely won't win the lane against Centaur Enigma, I think.
Like, it's more for the style EG's trying to play, right? Where you're now going to have this 5 position that activates all 4 of your heroes, and EG traditionally has a very greedy 4 position. They do in crit, and all 3 of their cores, like they almost have to have good games. It's very hard for EG to ever sack a player, and Crystal Maiden allows everyone to continue accelerating, stay on map longer, and in a game where that's the way you want to be playing, I think it complements their style.
Yeah, and admittedly TB is quite good with CM2. Like, once you transition to a jungle level 4, level 5, you actually do run out of mana without that aura.
I was going to say, I think they were considering this PL too. Yeah, because if they picked Undying, it would have made it a very good PL game.
Yeah, and there was no other real carry either that really threat Terrorblade at this point.
Yeah, and it's a good point as to why they don't go Undying on EG. Just because the PL is this 1-to-1 counter, and then your tool that you relied upon to win fights is just completely negated, and there's going to be a Centaur Enigma just trying to run down.
How do you guys rate Underlord for Evil Geniuses in this draft?
I think
really good.
Good work, yeah. Yeah, usually they're like response to PL, so they want to dispel the illusions.
It gives you the team fight advantage, assuming the split can go off as well, which is quite nice. And you don't want PSG LGD in this position where they can just starve the map and suffocate you 15 minutes in, because they're able to push so many towers and always have this threat that you can't contest them unless you bring more numbers than they have.
It's quite good against Centaur too, because when you stampede, you just like you're one guy up in the air, and he is pretty much just by himself because the team is already disengaging.
Yep.
A lot of good merits to the hero.
Yeah, you know you can dispel Crimson Guard?
Yes, you can. It's a buff. Pipe 2, I believe.
No, Pipe isn't. Crimson, yes.
I love the Ember
Pipe, you cannot.
Yeah. It's weird because I thought it was I think it was reversed in the past, but like I made sure you can actually AoE dispel the Crimson Guard, which I think is quite nice. You got to consider that Centaur will probably pick one up at a point against a Terrorblade. Could happen.
It could.
Doesn't sound like it.
I mean, usually it would be Enigma building it, I think, in a game like this, because Centaur doesn't usually farm too much, but although it's FY, so
yeah,
he's definitely going to farm a lot. What is EG looking for here? They want some kind of low cooldown fighting hero for mid.
Oh, it's Sumail, so we saw him play a Quap.
I was going to say Queen of Pain.
That didn't go so well.
Yeah, no more Quap, please. Ember's out, though.
Backstage, I think we were watching Forward EG, we were just laughing because it was this the Hassan ball, right? And I think Jack was sitting there saying, like, one of these teams is going to pick Mirana last. That's just how NA Dota functions. And I feel like if you're in this scenario where you just kind of need something, that might be what we end up getting here.
But Mirana is like so average. I really don't like it as a last pick. You want to open the draft with it because it can go pretty much on all 3 lanes. But last picking, it doesn't really have the power that other heroes have.
The thing is, you're picking the matchup line. That's the concern. So I'd be very afraid if I'm EG to go something like Alina, when you might potentially just get TA'd still.
What about something
you have
like
a Terrorblade, but
I think they consider Storm.
Storm is very scary. It has a lot of counters, but
yeah,
they do.
But you're trying to come up with something better. But there you go.
It's just this jack of all trades hero that Sumail loves playing. You don't really ever lose the lane because you can arrow archers when necessary. And it's just excellent synergy. You spam spells, you can utilize the CM aura. You've got tons of lockdown, tornado into arrow, CM frostbite, taunt, the invis for utility, and you want to range carry against Enigma. You don't want to give him super easy black holes on 2 chords if you get caught next to the Brewlings.
Then Storm or Invoker time for maybe.
What about Tinker?
Tinker can work.
Tinker wouldn't be bad.
I think they have a lot of options now. It's like Mirana middle just doesn't threaten much. Dragon
They go for the DK.
Yeah. I mean, Mirana can't really lane against DK at all.
I like the DK pick. I think we saw VP use this hero. The Radiance into Blink was quite nice. I feel like it gives them that point stun that they really needed. You don't want to have to blow ultimates. They have 3 in their piggy bank, right? You don't want to have to use 2 just to engage a fight. Now if DK gets something started, all of a sudden, EG has a really hard time committing because they're constantly threatened by the Stampede, the PL spam, and they really don't have an answer to PL in this game either.
I mean, if this game goes late game, PSG is definitely going to win. They also have a massive teamfight advantage. Yeah. The Silencer, if Dragon just engages the global silence on top, like, they can only disengage. They actually can't fight back.
I feel like it's very hard to protect Terrorblade this game. Much easier to protect the PL in fights. Like, it's just easier as PL to play fights this game. So, I mean, I think LGD's got the upper hand in this one.
It's going to be a big S4 brew game if EG's going to take it. The Dispel, obviously, will deal with the illusions, but at a certain point, once the Heart comes out, that next item, you don't have an answer. And there's always the threat of an uncancelable BKB black hole. Arteezy and Sumail will have to have excellent positioning because really killing the Enigma while he's channeling is going to be your response. So I'm going to help out my boys in blue and say LGD is going to win this game.
They're both in blue, but sure. Black.
I'm just going to speak statistics. Average game length is like plus 40 minutes, and I think plus 40 minutes, LGD is definitely going to win this game very easily, so I'm going for my boys, LGD.
Oh, I thought I was going to have 2 NAs on the panel that wouldn't sway from Evil Geniuses, but it seems like PSG LGD has our panelists' favor here. Axiata Arena, are you ready for game number 1?
Hello everyone arena side and everyone watching at home. Welcome to Evil Geniuses versus LGD. I'm here with analyst Grant. Grant, the whole panel has this one on LGD. Certainly if it goes into the long game. Give me your thoughts on it.
I kind of have to agree with him here. It looks like it's going to be a big 4-on-4 game. You're going to have Ame farming, Arteezy farming. Who can farm better? Who can take those fights later game? But it looks like LGD does have a little bit better bit of a draft.
I'm excited to get into this one. Yesterday we had seen a demising showing from a lot of the teams. I'm hoping for some closer action today. We'll see which team's going to be able to fight forward and which team is going to, unfortunately, be going home. Big one here. Let's get into it now. And as the lanes do kind of get assessed a bit, not seeing anything too shaky here. Crit obviously going to be playing the Axe joined by Arteezy up here in the top lane. We have FY who has shown ridiculous moves on this Centaur.
Yeah.
We got to cast their games in the group stage, and it was just so formidable.
Yeah, he was the first one to really bring this position for Centaur, and we saw just first blood after first blood in this top lane with the Enigma in the lane. It's always going to be in their favor. Arteezy is really going to have a rough game here.
Down and below, we see already to mid-action towards the Bounty Rune. We have Ame's PL. X-Nova by his side on the Silencer, already dishing out an early curse as S4 wants to swing it out. He tries to pick up and is successful in grabbing the Bounty Rune on his Brewmaster Fly. Has to head out the side door on the Crystal Maiden to make it away, but it is going to be EG grabbing up 3 of the four Bounty Runes to start things away.
Not too bad. They take a ton of damage on this bottom lane, and I think the middle one, can Sumail like pull out a miracle and win this lane versus DK? It should be reasonably DK favored after like level 3 or 4.
A liquid miracle or just a miracle?
Just a miracle.
Okay,
maybe
just
both.
a miracle. Tough matchup, obviously. The DK going to be ever so durable here. And we already know the DK's objective. He's here. He's going to get last hits. He's not going to be deterred in any sort of way. Mirana likes to go out on expeditions and make action happen across the map when she's able to do so. So if the DK has the land laid there before him, he's just going to try to siege down that tier 1 sooner than later.
Yep, and as the panel said, there's plenty of room for this Mirana to make movements. You have the freeze from the Crystal Maiden. You have the Axe Call. So it's going to be a lot on Sumail in these mid-game movements.
First Metamorph already coming out, as we can see here in the top lane. Arteezy trying to bully them back quite a bit, but still eating a lot of damage himself. That's where Crit has to step in. Force Chalice to step off, but FY with those dirty tree shenanigans he likes to pull out.
That exact same one we saw for the first time earlier this week, and won't quite work out for them.
Obviously, gonna have to posture up against the Axe of Crit here. No easy targets available to him this time, so he'll have to just kind of take it slow. Chalice, though, of course, has that benefit of being able to deny the creep, which pulls the creep wave back and closer to their tower. But we're gonna see this back and forth trade happen for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I feel like Crit needs to bring a Sentry Ward up to de-ward the pull, or else they're just going to get constantly pulled away by this Enigma.
Fly, Crystal Maiden versus Nova, Silencer here as they trade from both sides. The early stomp from S4. And now he gets hit with the last word. He's going to have to double back a bit. Picks up a wand, pops this out. X-Nova. Got to be careful there. Only one more leaf of regen left for himself.
You see the damage from Crystal Maiden brought 3 mangoes to the lane, already only has 1 left. That Crystal Nova level 1 is so powerful, but PSG LGD hasn't died to it yet.
Nope. Lots of Eidolons there and picked up. More trades happening from both sides. In our mid lane matchup, 9-1 for Sumail to 12-3 Dragon Knight. As expected, I'd imagine here.
Yeah, it's just tough. That Breathe Fire, obviously, with the damage reduction is what makes it even harder, because Mirana already has way less base damage, so and look at that regen. DK's full mana again.
Pick up for him. Looks like Courier's going to be delivering out what looks like a Smoke and Sentry up and through the top lane for Evil Genius's side. So we could see some early lane movement here. In particular, it looks like possibly by the hands of Crit on that Axe.
That Chicken has to be careful. They have the ward on it, but it will change to flying in about 10 seconds here.
Obviously going to be something as they see the shiftman here. They're moving on forward here, looking to get that first blood grab. Crit's going to be forced to step back. Pop the salve, joins with the Courier,
When he
retrieves
brings
his
the
items.
And there's the Sentry. He did bring it. He will be able to de-ward, so they have the pull now.
That's extra money for him as well.
It'll make it a lot better, because the lane should always be pushing in favor of EG, because they should, you'll see the Enigma just denying his range creep. And it's tough. You have to get that pull.
And Nova has been forced what looks like out from the lane entirely. No regen left. He's going to have to do the long walk back and then TP to get back into this one. So for now, it looks like Ame does have the creep wave under his tower to work with, but he has to be cautious and careful for any potential setups.
Ooh, and maybe a rotation already. FY had to run back to base 2, and he's going to start heading down bottom after he TP'd home as well. So we'll see if when X-Nova gets back there, if they go for this kill.
Or do you think it could be just an audible call to switch up the lanes altogether? Any reason why Nova should just maybe go to the top lane instead and join Chalice's side, as we see him under a bit of pressure. They know that FY's not at the lane, so they try to push him back.
I think he should probably just go bottom. You want to secure that, and yeah, he will. He goes to the shrine, and they're going to look for this gank bottom.
So Ame happy to commit himself forward to get S4 that much weaker, but S4 already has another salve to possibly work with, but FY is on the side. It looks like they may have pinged him out. So this is going to be something that EG are privy to, but yeah, top lane though. Chalice still on his lonesome. Crit
The
had to
Eidolon.
dive forward, gets it done.
Ooh.
Crit very low, but able to step back and away. Arteezy will get the extra bit of gold from bringing down some of those Eidolons.
Yep, and there you
First blood.
They rotate a support out, and all of a sudden you get a bunch of kills. Eidolon kills as well as the Enigma kill, and Arteezy with that second Metamorphosis feeling pretty good.
Yep. And all the meanwhile, FY did not find the opportunity at the bottom. Now shifts his direction towards the mid lane, and possibly has to go full cross country all the way up to top to help Chalice's side once again.
This is, I mean, when we were watching LGD in their group stage, the Centaur was just so powerful, and again, crit. He's in trouble.
Yes, he is. Has a mango, but no extra regen.
Creeps are dying. He'll make it out.
Looks like he makes it out the other side. But it's 5-minute rune time. FY picks up the one on his side, tries to go across the river. Arteezy should beat him there, though.
Has the boots.
Yep, able to pick that one up. It does look like it will be a split. Oh no, still bounty on the side of LGD.
They're on the side of EG.
Oh,
he was
EG
leaving
rather,
it for Sumail. Has the bottle, just lets him get it. Fill it up now.
Yeah, looks like split.
Yeah, might look for a gank here, and Radiant doesn't have a ward to see this. Sumail avoids the one ward they have.
As this, he better make something
Oh,
happen.
Ame.
There he goes, commitment's in,
Dead.
leaps forward, Ame.
Dead.
It's picked off.
I don't even know if they needed Sumail there, but he's like, yoink, I'll take that. Simple kill for him, and just TP's back, and he has that bottle filled up.
Yeah, not even an opportunity for maybe's Dragon Knight to pop his first dragon form and start getting some damage in on that tier 1.
Yep. And this is the thing, right? EG almost always wins their lanes. It's more about this Enigma, Silencer, Centaur going to the mid game, and
Okay, crit.
hey, just gonna run in there.
Gets smacked with a dragon tail and has to head out the other side.
And he doesn't have a point in call. 2 Battle Hunger, 1 spin, so not really any lockdown there for the arrow.
Fly is also here. He's just south of the lane, looking for a setup onto maybe, but just hits him with the Crystal Nova instead. Just a little bit of poking harassment damage. X Nova has got the Invis rune, is going to be walking Fly home.
Yep. Arteezy does have to be careful. FY is in that position where you just cut down that one tree and he's right behind him top lane.
Yep. For the possible approach here.
He's just chilling, not moving.
And the opportunity is going to be gone because Crit shows up now to that top lane and could be here at assistance if needed, but that's when FY thinks about making his move also.
Yeah.
Rushing in, steps aside, eats the Nova, now eats the freeze. Chalice,
Yeah.
finished off. Fly's rotation successful here to join the top lane, the side of his blue brothers.
Wow. Laning phase for EG always stands out. They're just, feels like they're winning most of their lanes. Obviously, bottom, Ame does still have the top net worth, but this brew is getting farmed, and he is going to be the big factor. Once he gets